I'm Ethan Kwan, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a scrolling basic in Scratch, like a template, I guess. So you can use this for any project. You might have seen my Tank Attack project on Scratch. So if I can just open that up now. It's a game where you are, it's a game where you're this tank and you shoot, and they're enemies and they shoot at you, and then you can shoot at them like this, and you're basically trying to survive for as long as you can. These bushes provide cover. So I'm going to be showing you how to make this tank script that I used in my project here. And as you can see, I'm already dying because I'm not great at this game. Actually, I'm pretty horrible. You can try it for yourself. It's not that easy. Well, it might be really easy for you. Whoops. Yeah, anyway. So I'm going to be showing you the project that the code that I used in here, and I am going to be showing you how to make this script here for scrolling. Okay, so I have a new project fired up. I'm gonna call it, I don't know, scrolling. Why not? Okay, now I'm gonna create two new sprites. I'm gonna create, first of all, I already have a character that I'm gonna use right here. It's pretty cute. As you can see, cute. And you can draw your character. I just used this. I just used Bitmap just to draw some pixel art. If you want to see here, right there. Oops, get rid of that. I just used some pixel art to draw this little guy here. You can copy me if you want. Each of the pixels you are seeing is 1 by 1. So actually the outline is 2 by 2. So if you want me to so this is 2 by 2. As you can see. And there's an outline too, if you can't see. Well, I'm guessing you can, but it's there. Anyway, you can draw your character however you like. I'm just using this. And we're also gonna want to draw a background. And we're also gonna make it so that we can actually see the background. So I'm gonna just shrink this area here, and shrink the backpack too. And what you basically do is you can just draw a green background, and then just to make it visible that you're actually moving and scrolling, I usually like to change the color a little bit and then just spam dots all over the screen. I've already made one, so you guys have to do that. Sorry. So I have background there. There we go. Okay. Delete that so you don't get a sneak peek. Where is it? One sec. I'm just gonna set the size to 100 again. Whoops. 100. Doesn't want to be set to 100 for some reason. Oh well. Yeah, anyway. So you can make your background however you like, just make sure to make it so that you can see the dots. Oh, and I'm also gonna make the player come to the front. Go to front layer. So I'm just gonna drag the when green flag, click go to front layer. There we go. Okay, so now we have our player and we have our background. So let's get coding. Okay, so first thing you wanna do is we're gonna delete the my variable because it's kind of useless. We're gonna create two variables, X for this sprite only, and Y for this sprite only. And we're also gonna create two, I was doing that in the background. Let me delete these. Sorry about that. I'm gonna go to that player and create two new variables, X for the sprite only, and Y for this sprite only. Okay, now I'm gonna create two global variables. Those were private variables. Global variables, basically when I say global, it means for all sprites. So I'm gonna call them in all caps, so I can know which ones are private and which ones are global. Scroll X, and I'm also gonna create a scroll Y. Okay, for the sprite only, both of them. I'm just gonna hide these variables. Actually, let's show the scroll X and scroll Y because they might be useful. Actually, they will be useful. And you already know that if you skipped ahead in the video, but I don't think anybody has done that yet. Well, maybe you are right now. Anyway, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, just set all the variables to 0. So I'm just gonna set all 4 variables to 0. Set scroll Y to 0, set X to 0, and set Y to 0. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in forever. And what we're gonna do is change X by, and this is gonna be a little bit weird, but just follow along here. I'm gonna hide the backpack again. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to sensing. First thing you have to know is, I'll just go over it before I do it. If you drag in one of these blocks, it tells you if it's true or false. So right now I'm not pressing the space bar, so it tells you false. When I am pressing the space bar, it tells you true. One thing you have to know is that these blocks here, if I change it to like right arrow, for example, these blocks here are considered to be a 1 if it's yes, if it's true, and a 0 if it's false. So operators, if I say times, I don't know, 4 right here. Actually, I'll just say 3. 5. If you try this, oops, wrong side. Okay. So if you try this, if you don't click the right arrow, it would be 0 because it's not pressed, times 5 is 0. If I press it, it becomes 5 because 1 times 5 is 5. So this is a handy way. So if I duplicate this, for example, and I'm actually going to just set this to, change this to left arrow, and change it to -1. So this will give me a number 0 or -1, and this will give you a number 0 to 1. Now if I add these together, right? If I say key right arrow pressed plus key left arrow pressed times -1, if I click this, if none of them are pressed, it will input 0. If one of them is pressed, say I'm pressing the right arrow, then it's going to be 1, +1. If I'm pressing the left arrow, it'd be -1. And if I'm pressing both, it'll be 0. Now I'm just going to input this into here. If I do this, then it's going to move at 1 unit. So if I show the variables here, X, if I show variable X, oops, I think it's hidden behind the scroll, X variable. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so if I play this, as you can see, it's changing if I press the right, it's going positive when I press the right arrow, and I'm pressing negative, it's going down. So this is actually a really good way to change variables. But it is changing kind of slowly. If you put, if you change it by 1, it's kind of slow for movement, so I'm gonna multiply it by 5. Why not? Just pick any number. This will be your speed for your player. Okay, I'm just gonna duplicate this, change this to Y, change this to key up arrow, change this key down arrow, and there we go. Now I'm just gonna say go to just X, go to X, and go to Y, the variables, of course. Okay, so if I do that, then I get a movement script. Nice. So as you can see, if I press, it actually moves, so that's great. Now let's add scrolling. To add scrolling, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say go to X minus scroll X. Okay? X minus scroll X. And duplicate this. Get rid of the Y variable. Y minus scroll Y. We're just gonna put those in there. Now, let's play it. And everything looks the same. Why is that? Well, that's because we haven't set our variables yet. So let me just pause this. I'm just gonna stop that. That's because we haven't set our scroll X variables. They're actually still 0, as you can see. We're just subtracting 0, which doesn't make a difference. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change scroll X by, and we're gonna need a division to add smooth scrolling. Actually, that's the whole point. X minus scroll X divided by, and this number here will depend on how smooth you want your scrolling to be. So if you want it to be like really rough, you're gonna pick a lower number. If you want it to be really hot, if you want it to be really smooth, then you pick a higher number. I like somewhere in the middle, so I like 10. It's totally up to you. Just don't pick a too high number or too low number, because if you pick a too low number, it's basically not gonna work. And if you pick a too high number, again, it's not gonna work. You can test those out on your own time and just play with the numbers and just see how it works for you. I like 10. So if you're in a rush, then you can just follow me. So I'm gonna also change scroll Y by this thing. Whoops, no, not that thing. And then I'm gonna get a division, divide by 10. There we go. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, now as you can see, we can't actually move that far. We can only kind of stretch away from the center, but as you can see, the scroll X and scroll Y variables are actually changing, which is awesome actually, because that's exactly what we want. Because if we go down, we want the scroll Y to go down, and if we press the left arrow, we want the scroll X to go down. Well, in this case anyway. Okay, so what we're gonna do to add scrolling now is we're gonna go to our background. And we're actually just gonna go back to our player actually, and we're just gonna take this code here, this go to X minus scroll X, Y minus scroll Y. We're just gonna take that, get rid of that. I don't think it went in. One sec. For some reason, I've had this problem too. I've had this problem for a while. When it's small, then it doesn't work. So, I hope people are going to fix that one day, but anyway, go to X minus scroll X, Y minus scroll Y. Of course, these X and Y variables don't really exist, so we actually had to create new ones here. These are actually the background's X and the background's Y, but actually these variables here are actually going to be never set, so we're just going to delete the two variables, delete the X variable and delete the Y variable, and we're just going to replace these with zeros. Because it'll work perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna go to events, when green flag clicked, forever, and then do this thing. Okay, now, if we play this, yay, now we have scrolling, but as you can see, our black background isn't really working well, because it's huge right now, right? We want it to be zoomed in. Okay, so let's just try that. Let's just set size to I don't know, 500 at the beginning of the game. Okay. Nothing's changed because Scratch has a limit of how big a sprite can get, because you don't want it to fill up the whole screen, right? So one solution to this is make your background really large, but I don't think anybody wants to do that, so I'm gonna show you a different alternative. I'm gonna create a new costume, paint, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zoom in into the center, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dot it right there, because this dot doesn't have a limit on how big it can get, right? Because it's tiny. So actually now if I do it, my dot is huge, right? My dot is really big. If this gives you an idea, then go ahead and try it, but I'm just gonna show you how to do it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch costume to, I'm just gonna name this dot, and I'm gonna name this one background. Okay. So switch costume to dot, set size to 500, and then we're gonna switch costume back to background. Now what's gonna happen, as you will see, is actually it's huge now, which is great, which is exactly what we wanted. So this is actually the exact same script I did in my Tank Attack thing. If we go to background, it says right here, When green flag clicked, switch costume to costume 2, go to back layer, set size to 600, switch costume to costume 1, and there. Because costume 2, I didn't really name these actually, and this is just a dot, right? So, so that's actually, that should fix our problem, and it actually did, right? It's huge now, which is exactly what we wanted. Okay, one more thing I want to fix. If I keep just going, right, and this might take us some time, 8, 9, 10, there, right there. As you can see, there's an edge to the world. That sounds kind of weird. Anyway, we wanted to stop scrolling when we get to the edge, right? Because nobody wants to see this white out here, right? So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep approaching until we can't see the black anymore, and we're gonna look at our scroll X variable. It looks like it's about 1,210. Okay, so remember that number, 1,210. For some reason, it zoomed in. Go to our player. Now we don't want it to keep scrolling when we reach the edge, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put in an if statement, and actually we should probably put this in here, right here. So between the go to X, Y block and between the change scroll Y by, because we want to change the scroll X and scroll Y variables to the necessary ones before we say go to X minus scroll X, Y minus scroll Y. I don't think any of that made sense, but I'm just gonna continue. Okay, so we're gonna say greater than if scroll X is greater than, and this number right here, 1,210, alright, because that's this, then we're gonna set scroll X to 1,210, okay? So now we can actually go off the edge, which is pretty cool. Watch, if I start over here, right, if I just continue going over, then once you reach the edge, you actually don't scroll anymore, which is pretty cool. Now we have to fix the other side, so I'm just gonna keep moving down there. Oh, there. Yeah. Okay. There. Okay, we're at 1,275, so I'm just gonna duplicate this. That. I'm just gonna swap these around. -1,275 is less than scroll X. Then we're gonna say set scroll X to -1,275. That should work. Yeah, now we can't scroll this way. Great. Now let's do the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom, basically same idea. You can see there's the edge. What's my number? 1015. One sec, get rid of that. Change this back. Change this to scroll Y, change this to scroll Y. 1015, then set it to 1015. There. Let's test that out. There we go. Can't scroll. And let's go all the way down. Okay, there. Hit it. Go up till we can't see it. There. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is just duplicate that again. Get rid of that. Swap these around. Change this to, what is that? -860. Okay. And we're gonna set scroll Y to -860. There. Now we should actually not be able to scroll anymore. And once we reach the edge, watch. Now let's go all the way down first. There we go. Can't scroll there. Let's go along. too. There, can't scroll there. There, can't scroll that way. Yep, great, can't scroll that way. Okay, so that was the basis for scrolling. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, please subscribe, like, and share this channel with others. And also, don't forget to don't forget to check out my Tank Attack video and my Scratch tutorial and my Scratch project. All the Scratch project, I'm gonna upload it after this. And don't forget to share your project with me in the comments below, or in the chat on Scratch on my profile picture on my profile page. Don't forget to share the link if you make it. Also, please tell me in the comments or in the chat here if you want me to add other things, like, for example, like bushes or enemies or shooting, because, well, that might be, if you're trying to make a shooter, top-down shooter game, then I could help with that. So again, thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.